A cruise ship out of the UK calling on Grand Bahama for the first time, bringing hundreds of passengers to the island. I'm Sabrina Brown. That story straight ahead. Over 400 persons on the islands of Grand Bahama to attend the 2017 Faith Fest right here at the Grand Lucayan Resort. I'm Natalia Hall. I'll have those details for you straight ahead.
Forestry officials taking Grand Bahama by storm as a part of a multi-million-dollar initiative. I'm Joan Davis-Rose. Stay tuned for that story coming up.
It is time to rock your socks as students observe World Autism Day. ¿Cómo está usted? Spanish is the focus at Morais Moore.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, Grand Bahamas tourism sector getting a major boost today with the arrival of a cruise vessel out of the United Kingdom. Sabrina Brown has our top story.
The Marco Polo cruise ship making its inaugural voyage to Grand Bahama Thursday morning, bringing over 700 passengers on board. Officials of the Ministry of Tourism and the Freeport Harbor Company welcoming the cruise liner to the island during a plaque exchange ceremony on board the vessel. Captain of the Marco Polo, Antonio Morais, says the 36-day cruise originated in the UK and they're excited to have Grand Bahama as a port of call.
And it is a great pleasure after 52 years of our life to come here the first time to Freeport on Bahamas. So we start from UK, from Bristol, Avonmount. We come through the Azores. Azores we went to Caribbean. Caribbean was the highlight was the Cuba. We stayed 3 days in Havana, and now on the return back we are passing here by Freeport.
Manager of Maritime Tourism at the Ministry of Tourism, Nuvalari Chaudhary, says an increase in visitor arrivals is always good news for this destination.
They have 700 passengers disembarking this morning, so every little bit helps for our economy locally. We just want to thank the captain and crew and entire company, as well as Freeport Harbor Company with Captain Forbes and his team down here at the harbor for doing a wonderful job and helping us to get more persons into Grand Bahama Island.
Port Director at the Freeport Harbor Company, Captain Orlando Forbes, believes it is significant that Grand Bahama was included in a voyage of this magnitude.
What we're finding interesting is a lot of vessels calling out of the UK are now calling at Cuba and then the Bahamas. We see that as exciting. You know, the concept of connecting Cuba to the Bahamas is interesting because Cuba is an emerging market, and to be able to tie Cuba to a destination like the Bahamas, I think speaks well for us as we move forward.
Forbes says Grand Bahama is expected to receive some 250 cruise visits this year. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, hundreds of visitors on the island of Grand Bahama for a conference billed as the biggest faith-based event to be held on this northern island. The countdown is on to the start of the highly anticipated Faith Fest conference, which opens at the Grand Lucayan Resort. Local organizers from throughout the nation's tourism sector are making their final preparation to stage this mega event. This conference is expected to provide a significant financial infusion into this island's economy. Now, some 1,200 delegates are expected to be on hand for tonight's official opening ceremony. We go now to the Grand Lucayan Resort, where our Italia Hall is standing by with a live cut-in about tonight's official event.
Thanks, Shashina. Here I am at the Grand Lucayan Resort in the ballroom, where persons from the Ministry of Tourism are preparing for Faith Fest, the 2017 Faith Fest, that is set to take place at 7 p.m. tonight. Now, the event is a two-day gospel conference, which was set to take place in October of last year, but was pushed back due to Hurricane Matthew. But right now, everything is on track, and there are over 400 persons on island that will be participating in the event tonight. And here I have with me is the Director of Religious Tourism, Dwight Armbrister. So tell us a little bit about the event and what can persons expect?
Well, you know, the event was scheduled to begin last year, October, and because of the hurricane, we're now in 2017. Faith Fest is about living your best life now. And we want to capture all of that with Bishop Henry Fernandez. We've been after him for over 2.5 years. He's a massive catch for us. And so it really goes to the bottom line in our economy here in Grand Bahama. We want to help our people here in Grand Bahama and get the economy moving. And so Faith Fest is one of those major conferences that is targeted at getting persons to come to our island, come to Grand Bahama, and really spend their monies and get to feel our culture, get to see what we have to offer here and our tourism product. They will see the beach, they will see our culture, they will see our people, they will feel the hospitality of our people. And so that's what we do. And so we're happy that Bishop Henry Fernandez has agreed and stuck with us even after the Hurricane Matthew. And still here, we're now ready to move on with Faith Fest. And tonight is the night.
So I understand that there are 400 persons that came from all over the United States to be a part of this event. Talk about the locals as well. How many persons are you expecting to be a part of this tonight?
We are expecting the entire Grand Bahama to come out here tonight, in addition to those who have traveled from other family islands. I know we have quite a contingent coming in from Nassau. All of our senior tiers are going to be here in the conference tonight. And then we have our local artists who are going to be participating as well. Simeon Out and the Cool and Waters, our national performers, we call them. And so they are in the house as well tonight, and so we're expecting a great move tonight.
Also, I have with me Bishop Henry Fernandez, who is the host of the conference, and you've been here before. How does it feel to be back in Grand Bahama again?
I just need a house here. That's all. You know, they say it's better in the Bahamas, and I am so excited about being here this time for real for Faith Fest. As you know, Mr. Armbrister mentioned it earlier, that because of Hurricane Matthew last year, you know, we had to postpone this, and it's finally here, so we're very excited about it.
Okay, what can persons expect from you as a host? And talk a little bit about the U.S. artist who's coming to be a part of this as well.
Well, this whole conference is really about spiritual rejuvenation and physical relaxation, giving people a chance to have a spiritual encounter, but at the same time living your best life now.
Once again, the 2017 Faith Fest will be held here at the Grand Lacayan Resort in the ballroom. It's a two-night event, tonight at 7 p.m. and tomorrow night at 7 p.m. as well. A number of government officials are expected to attend, including the Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe. Back to you in the studio, Shashina.
Thank you very much, Italia. Well, scores of delegates from around the world joining members of a Call to Holiness AGAPE Household of Faith here on Grand Bahama for an international conference. The conference opened last night. A contingent is on island from AGAPE House in Canada, and they are led by Pastor Michael Welsh.
We have over 40 delegates from Canada, and while we're here, there'll be day session here in the sanctuary. Tomorrow I'll be speaking on social media in the apostolic. So we're excited to be here. I am excited to be here. My wife is excited to be here. My son is here with us. And we're going to have a wonderful time come tomorrow. And we're closing out on Sunday. Amen. And so it's going to be a wonderful time here in the city of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
A gathering of the saints is taking place at AGAPE Household of Faith in Pioneers Loop. Now, the conference will close out on Sunday. Host pastors are Apostles Anthony and Anne Grant. Switching gears now, the nation's second city is part of a multi-million-dollar study undertaken by a unit of the Ministry for the Environment. Officials from the nation's capital are here on Grand Bahama to hear from residents and to share their vision as it relates to this island. Joan Davis-Roll has more.
The island of Grand Bahama is one of the leading islands in this country, known for superior infrastructure, wide roads, and acres of untapped resources, including forestry. It is against this backdrop that officials from the Ministry for the Environment Forestry Unit are on Grand Bahama to not only outline that agency's overall mission, but to host a town meeting in East Grand Bahama. Director of Forestry, Christopher Russell.
Bahama has some significant forest areas, pine forest, mangrove forest, and coppice hardwood areas. And so we are going to be carrying out a forest inventory or resource assessment on Grand Bahama, as we are doing with the other pine islands, based on a project that we have funding from. It's called the Jeff Pine Island Project, which will actually help us map and inventory the forest resources on the Pine Islands. And so we'll speak to that. And we'll speak to what our agency is all about in carrying out that mandate and what's going to happen going forward.
Russell says forestry officials have also been mandated to conduct a multi-million-dollar initiative, and Grand Bahama is among the islands to benefit.
The funding has come from the Global Environment Facility, which is a UN agency, And so they have provided us funding through various international conventions, the UNFCCC Convention on Climate Change, Convention on Biodiversity, and the Convention to Combat Desertification. We actually are able to access funding from these three entities come together to help fund this project. Cash and in-kind contribution roughly adding up to over $8 million. So most of it is in-kind contribution, and there's part of it, I think $2 million is cash contribution.
Forestry is not the only focus, though. Officials say issues such as beach erosion and the impact on the environment as a result of hurricanes are concerns as well.
We're very concerned in terms of beach erosion, and what is necessary. We have to ensure in the future that people are not building on the beaches. We have to do setbacks, zoning setbacks, so that people can move away from the beaches, or construct homes that can accommodate sort of storm surges. And so in protecting and preserving those areas, we will hopefully be able to manage them and restore them by planting certain plants that can withstand storm surges, like mangroves, for example. Mangroves play a key role in reducing the impact of storm surges during hurricanes, and so we encourage people to plant mangroves, or not to destroy mangroves. Is a critical thing.
Forestry officials say Grand Bahama, with its vast landmass, will play a pivotal role in its initiatives moving forward. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Joan Davis-Roll.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.